you. Now we're all family. So wonderful. Let's see. I'm going to introduce Sean Langwell, who is going to introduce our speaker, who is in charge of getting our speakers here. So Sean, come on up.
Thank you, Madam President. So, Robin did a similar workshop, about a year and a half ago?
Yeah,
A year or two ago. It was so well received that we decided to have her back, and here's why. The magic of Ekphrastic, where you learn how to use artwork to inspire your creative writing, both poetry and prose, so it's not just poetry. The aim is to enhance observational skill and generate creative responses in a fun, interactive environment. This session is suited for any writer interested in empowering creativity, finding ways to battle writer's block, anybody have that? Exploring new perspectives, and fostering a deeper appreciation of the visual arts. We hope you can join us in this space. And Robin here's a little bit about her, because she's pretty accomplished. I think she's gotten a Pushcart Prize nominee, something like that. She's a winner of Redwood Writers 2025 Fran Claggett Holland Award, and is a Pushcart Poetry Prize nominee for her poem, The Palm Reader. In 2024, her poem, Invisible, was a finalist in the San Francisco Writers Conference Poetry Contest, and she was longlisted as the Frontier Poetry Tonka Challenge. Her book of ekphrastic poetry, The Clandestine Life of Paintings and Poems, was published in 2022, and a full-length book of poetry, Somehow I Haven't Drowned, was published by Blue Light Press in August 2025. Folks, you're in for a treat. I hope you brought something to write with, because I believe this is a little bit interactive. I give you Robin Gabbert.
No, Sean, turn that way.
Okay, Sean.
Give it a test first.
Test.
No, it's not on yet.
Test. Can you hear me?
You'd be close to it.
All right.
You gotta swallow the mic.
Can I pull it out of here and walk if I need
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, sure.
I won't wander too far. So yes, I'm Robin Gabbert, and I did do a presentation for the California Writers Club, actually, a couple years ago, prior to the first publication of Vision in Verse. So I'm assuming some of you watched that. That was a Zoom presentation, not a live presentation. Can you tell me, did any of you catch that presentation? Hands? Okay, well, I was hoping a number of you did, so that I could kind of slack off on the basics here, but I will review the basics. I'll review the basics for you. So let me just start that. That's me. You guys know me. Most of you know me. My book, The Clandestine Life of Paintings and Poems, came out in 2022. And I take a little bit different approach to writing ekphrastic poetry. And my approach is basically that you have a conversation with the art. And we'll go into that a little bit more later. But one of the things that I think is so wonderful about ekphrastic writing is that you're not just describing what you see in a painting or when you see a sculpture. You're actually interacting with it. So, and I hope that I'll be able to explain to you a little bit how you do that, so that you can do that and that it'll help you enhance your writing. So first of all, just a little bit of the basics. What is ekphrasis? It's writing to art, and it can be paintings, it can be sculpture, it could be theater, it could be digital art, it could be a photograph. So there's a very broad definition of what art is for ekphrasis. Basically, it has to be visual art. But as I was saying before, I like to have a conversation with the art. sometimes what you want to write about is a conversation you're having with the artist, a conversation that you're having with the people in the painting. I'll just use a painting as as an example. With the people in the painting, your poem or your flash fiction piece might be a conversation between two people in the painting, or between, or a conversation with the artist talking about, why did you make this crazy piece of art? Or it could be a conversation between two cows in the field. Or it could be a conversation between a microwave and a refrigerator. I mean, there's really no limit to what you can use as your inspiration in a piece of art, so don't be limited. Let's see here. Okay, another way to get inspiration from the art is to do a little bit of research into the art and the artist. Those are two different things. But another way to enter the painting is to find out what you can about the artist. Now, we all know a little bit about a lot of artists like Van Gogh or Da Vinci, but if you just do a little bit of research into the artist and the historical period they lived in, that can really enrich your writing. You don't necessarily have to put a lot of history into your piece, but even if you just do a little bit of research, you'll find that it can just come out in the flavor of your writing without you even really knowing it. In the words that you choose, in the theme, the tone. So it's never wasted time to spend at least a little bit of time doing some research into the artist that painted the picture, created the work of art. You have to be careful not to overdo this, though. Don't go too far in trying to assume a voice of a certain time period. I've found myself occasionally doing that. So, can you read this? Okay, good. I was afraid my type got a little too small here. Again, the style of art may influence the style and form of your prose or poetry. There's no hard and fast rules. But for instance, if the art is of the Renaissance period or the Romantic period, Victorian art, etc., your writing may end up being more sweeping sentences, more flowery. You may be more discreet, and when you're discussing the body, you may not even realize you're doing it. But if you know something about the period you're writing about, you just might find yourself sort of adapting to the artist's, the time the artist was living in. So you don't have to, but it's one way to approach the art. On the other hand, if you're writing a piece to modern art, you may find your language more acute, obtuse, outside the box. More modern in both the wording and also the form, because form, especially in poetry, can be very different, than the, we have traditional forms that we see, say, in Victorian poetry, but also if you get to modern poetry, it can be very different. It can be all over the page. So just be aware of those things. Okay, now I want to read some poetry for you, ekphrastic, and kind of explain the considerations that went into my writing of poetry about certain paintings. So, does anyone recognize who the artist is for this
Hopper.
piece?
Edward Hopper.
It is Edward Hopper. But when you see this, when I first saw this, I said, wow, Edward Hopper. This is different than your usual Edward Hopper. Can anybody say what's kind of different about this?
More light. Yeah, more light.
More light? it's not in an urban setting, is it?
No, it's on the Cape.
So, yeah, anyway, I didn't know, and this is because I did not do the research, I didn't know where it was set. This I did to I think I was in a workshop or something, so I had to write to it rather quickly. So I didn't know where this was, although maybe I could have told from the roof. But anyway, I wrote to it rather quickly. So this is a poem that I didn't do a lot of research for, but I was kind of puzzled. I'm like, gee, a lot of Hopper you see in an urban environment, cityscapes, nighthawks, and some of his other paintings, the girl and the automat, that kind of thing. So my poem is addressed to him, and like, what is the high priest of urban alienation doing on the prairie? I thought he was on the prairie. I thought this is like a little house on the prairie. So I'm like, dear Mr. Hopper, why are you painting this young woman on the prairie? Is she still lonely despite escaping city life? It's isolation, it's taxis, skyscrapers, still forlorn? Or has she found a certain pleasure in her body, the feel of the sun on her belly, her breasts? Is she waiting for her rancher husband to return for lunch? Or seeing off the lover she met this morning in the market? Eyes first meeting over the mushrooms? Again at the butcher's? She has a secret recipe to tenderize that tough cut of meat. Maybe she'd like you to come for coffee and a piece of pie. It can also be lonely on the prairie. So I believe this next piece is a photograph. Although I couldn't swear to it, but I was just mesmerized by it.
Yeah, it's a photograph.
Yeah, and so the poem I wrote to it, I guess you could also call it a landscape. I called it The Trees. I am mesmerized by the trees. I think they are trees. Slender white trunks with black markings. They're so close together, they could be a herd of albino giraffes crowded into a house of mirrors. They seem to beckon, but I know at once when I enter, I will be lost forever, seeking my way back. I see they have captured blackbirds who probably wanted only to nest in their branches, now imprisoned in bark, caught in motion on the wing, now going nowhere. I would like to think, dear birds, that there is some sort of symbiosis at play, something you gain before becoming arched black slashes that mesmerize lost souls. So anyway, just to sort of explain, you can sort of get lost in the picture. You can let the painting or the photograph draw you in and just sort of go with whatever you're feeling or whatever it evokes in you. This is an abstract. This is an abstract that I saw in the Museum of Art down in San Rafael. It was done by a gal by the name of Barb Trono, and the name of the painting is Wild Blue Yonder. The poem I call The Dilemma. So it's kind of, abstract art people think it's very difficult to write to, but you have to just find something to focus on. And well, you'll be able to tell what I focused on, I think, when I start reading the poem. Or maybe I'll wait and you can tell me what I focused on after I read the poem. The Dilemma. You stand outside the prison walls, washed in shades of steel blue as the sun sets behind the looming behemoth. Still in your trim shift from work, you rushed here after the warden's call about his early release. You're his wife, 12 years now. He expects you to be here. You pace, feel queasy, thinking about the kids that overdosed, 2 that died, taking the fentanyl he was pushing. You had no idea. A cold sweat creeps up the small of your back. Your underarms and chest are clammy. You feel nauseous, like you did when you were briefly pregnant that time. You hear the bolt on the door behind the concrete wall and metal gate slide open. With no other thought, you walk to your car, open the door, and drive away alone. This is a haigun, so this is the closing haiku. Given time to ponder, even a burrow will walk away from a beehive. So, were you able to kind of visualize what I was talking about here? This is the woman in a shift dress, and then there's a lot of big industrial type buildings behind her that I visualized as the prison. Okay, here we go. Now, I think this is a beautiful painting. This is done by a Palestinian artist named Matar Malik. And it was, isn't it gorgeous? The name of the painting is Last Night in Gaza. And the name of my poem is also Last Night in Gaza. She sleeps in a bed of birds. I put her there in my dreams. Her daytime sees too many bullets, too much sorrow and blood. At night, I want to wrap her in beaks and feathers, to caress, shield her, so the enemy will not recognize a target, so they will not disturb the sleeping woman oblivious in her dreams of soft winds, a feathery caress. They will every one fall to their knees and worship her as a goddess. Desire only to stroke the chartreuse, teal, and red of her avian duvet. When she wakes, there will have been no attack, just a conure feather on her cheek, and many footprints in the sand, walking away. So, yeah, gorgeous, just gorgeous painting. This is a more traditional painting now done by a French artist, Pierre Bonnard, but I love the colors in it. And I found it's called Le Fenêtre, which means the window. And I just found the colors so inviting that the poem I wrote is called Let Me Dance in the Lavender Sky. I was glad when you left to wander the streets of this French hill town, leaving me alone for a while to catch my breath on the balcony, right at the ample desk before the window that frames colors only you could capture, Pierre. I marvel at the sky where white clouds outline lilac fish, swimming in a lavender ocean amidst a blue-violet seabed of rolling hills. Lifted, I wanted to dance across the russet rooftops, find you in the streets below and whisper in your ear. Then together we can walk through the forest for hours. Later, return to our room to celebrate. Enter a perfect ebony evening, translucent, floating like ghosts. Okay, so, okay, good, that came up okay. So, this is actually a collage. So I also got this up at the gallery in San Rafael. It's called, let's see,
High left,
pardon?
high left.
Yeah, I was just thinking, yeah, the name of the art is Pile Up. My poem is Tangled. It's called Tangled. So anyway, as you can see, pretty much anything is fair game. Collage, paintings, photographs. Tangled. Our bed, the sheets gnarled, limbs akimbo, still awash in the gold blush of passion. As always, I turn away from you eventually, hug my cover close, fear losing the closeness of being encompassed by your shine, shrouded in the fatal familiarity of your arms, legs. But there's also the fear of being unable to breathe, unable to escape the confines of such ecstatic chains. Okay, so now it's your turn. I'm going to show you some slides, about 7 slides. Let's see how our time is doing. Oh, we're doing great. So first I'm going to go through the slides quickly. Whoops. Let's try this again. Quickly. And then I'll go back, and I was going to say 2 or 3 minutes, but we might have longer that you could write some thoughts down to each one of the slides, or if you just see one that like totally blows you away, you could spend all your time writing to that. But we have plenty of time, so why don't we take 5 minutes each? I think that's it. Well, let's see, if there are, what did I say, 7 slides?
5 minutes.
Yeah, so we could do that, because then we can come back and read. Some people can read their work, so that'll be really fun. Let me get my clock so I can do some timing, but as I said, first of all, I want to go through and show you all of them so you can start making some decisions. I'll first go through them all and tell you a little bit about each one. So, this first one is called Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga Weaving by Sarah Horowitz. Does anybody know who Baba Yaga is? Some people have heard of Baba Yaga, right? She's kind of a witch, ogress in the forest in Slavic legend. So I thought this was a particularly interesting drawing of her. The next one, this is done by Edvard Munch, who did The Scream. But you don't often see this particular one. Am I blocking you? I am so sorry. Let's see, can I?
Just pull the mic out.
Take the mic, yeah.
There you go.
Yes, so you don't often see this kind of painting from him. But I think it's so interesting, and it's so ripe for a story, right? So, the next one is, I'm going to try to make this, whoops, let's go. I'm going to try to see if I can make it bigger. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Anyway, that's Chagall. You can recognize him almost immediately because his work has this dreamlike quality to it, right?
Yeah, is it cut off?
Yeah, we'll cut it off.
It looks like,
Well, that's just the way It actually isn't. It's just that's a certain way of framing it. But actually, the painting is, let me see if I can, no, it's not gonna let me enlarge it without cutting part of it off. But actually, the painting is all you see within that one.
Well, I can enlarge it.
Can you enlarge it?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, no, I thought I could.
Well,
no,
that's
no,
better.
it's only focused.
That's still better.
Yeah, okay.
Let that be part of the poem.
So the poem is called the painting is called The Large Blue Horse.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of his paintings are kind of dreamlike in a way, and I think have wonderful, are wonderfully evocative for poetry. So yeah, there's a lot to see there. I mean, there's flowers down here. There's a couple here. There's the sort of rooster or cock that's always popular in his paintings. There's a woman riding the blue horse, the large blue horse. So yeah, that's an amazing one. And then this one, I believe, is, and this came from ESWA, Eastern Writers, Eastern Shore Writers Association. They used to have a thing called Poetry at Night, which was like an ekphrastic. They don't have it anymore, unfortunately. But once a month on Thursdays, they had this program where they would show you art. And I don't know the particular tribe that this artist came from, but it's called 6-Part Harmony by Kinojoak Ashtvak. So, yeah, there's a number of things going on there too. And this next one is Man Figure in Moonlight Night by Laura Makabreshku, a Polish artist. Isn't that gorgeous?
What can you say what it's called again?
It was called Man Figure in Moonlight Night, so it's kind of a basic title. But I think there's a lot of places you can go from it. Les sent me that one. I'm not sure where she got it.
She's not sure either.
But I searched it and I found out where it came. I mean, who did it. So I just love that one. So this one, which I really kind of love this one. This is an abstract done by, it's called A Date with Destiny. It's done by Lorette Luzajic, who is the founder of the Ekphrastic Review. She's a wonderful artist and poet. And so this is a 2025 work of art, which I find to be really interesting. And then I've never seen anyone write to the Mona Lisa, so I thought that would be kind of a cool idea. That's Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Yeah, so that's the last one, and then I'm going to tell you after some places you can submit your ekphrastic poetry and prose. But for now, whoops, let's go back to,
Now you stopped your show.
let me just go back to, where did we start that, about there? No, Baba Yaga. So we'll start with Baba Yaga, and I'll put on the timer for 5 minutes. And you can just jot down some thoughts you have about Baba Yaga, or you can write to Baba Yaga. Maybe I'll make it 4 minutes. So we'll have time more time to share at the end.
Robin, hit at the top from currents.
Ah,
Oh, okay, all right. Leave it alone.
yeah?
Yeah, because then they can see the other ones too.
Oh, they can see a little bit of the other
Yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I shall do that. And then, so we'll start, and I'll let you know when you have 30 seconds left, and we're going to go to the next one. All right, start. Anybody want to share what they've written?
All of it, some of it.
Everybody? Okay. I see a lot of hands on this side. Okay, you're standing. Which one? Tell me and I'll put up the picture.
Baba Yaga.
Oh, Baba Yaga, okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Yes. There we go. All right.
There she is.
Yeah.
Okay, Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga. I was just getting started here. The old wise woman. She takes a long inhale, breathing in the crisp snow and the mild scent of a fox and the pine cones hanging over her head. Baba Yaga is beyond ancient. She's a lizard woman. Before the Greeks called females of longevity lizards. Her smile brings the white night leading the sun. Her red night pulls the fiery sunset and all the quiet of the night coming on. She is an old nature goddess, now reviled.
Very good.
Okay, right here.
Same one. Baba Yaga. Why won't the color stay? As soon as I weave the yarn together, inch by inch, the color drains away. Returning to basic black, lifeless and dead, a skirt for a funeral. What did I do to bring this about? What sin or misdeed led to a rainbow being killed?
Okay, I saw you first. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Lisa. I know once. Yeah, okay, Lisa.
Okay, I chose the same one, so. In the midst of death is hope. The blackened seed heads hiding from your hungry gaze. Winter will pass, the spindle trees will feel the burst of tender green, and the patient seeds dropped beneath the snow-covered landscape will sprout and root and paint a future full of life.
Which one?
Same one. This is short. Distress, not benevolence. Tension, judgment, dismay. The gaze to the side, not direct. Acutely uncomfortable. A thoroughly unpleasant aura. Please do not visit me.
Baba Yaga, my secret grandma, hiding in trees. No one sees her but me. Even my mother, her only child, knows not of her spells. She holds me in thrall. The trees speak. Go forth and save us, they whisper. We are threatened by your kind. Baba Yaga thus compels. I spin and spin, weaving a fortress of wild wind and clouds to hide them, and signal storms and lightning to bar the way. The trees remain, and Baba smiles.
Nice.
Having this, so over here.
The woman in red, I'll move on.
And the bed, the day after?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the day after.
Gladly you have moved on from a scream to a sigh, the forced breath of jowls to a soft, dreamt pause from a tumbled night of passion. Your change of mood indicates you have softened from the bridge of screams to a bedroom of bliss, the wine cooling the harshness of your scream.
Nice. Okay.
I have a quick haiku for that one.
Oh, for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Stand up, will you?
And
Stand up.
then Julie.
Get up.
Okay.
Yes, I can see it.
So much leftover wine. Will I ever see you again? Pillow invites dreams.
Excellent.
Young woman, you lie in bed asleep. Excuse me. Did you dream of the man you dated?
Julie, would you like Chrissy to read it for you?
Yes.
You lie in bed asleep. Did you dream the man you dated that night? Wine drank. Did you get drunk? Your lone black hair cascading over the bed, like lost love you longed for. I hope you see him again.
Okay, Judy? Is it this one or no?
It's this one, yes.
I get that.
Doing this now.
Hedonist at rest. Satiated sexuality overpowers languid liberties. Limbs linger loose and long. Your sex, a centrifuge, pulsates. Goose down pillows cushion your body. Reverie, resplendent muse, your breast revealed beneath open linen shift, hungry for caresses and kisses.
I see Guy and then Laura.
Can we go to the one with the foxes and the animals?
Oh,
The Native American one, yeah.
Not a poet. London bridges falling down. Males in heat all around. Female love, silky glove. Fox and blue jays wander the town. London bridges falling down. Sex, not love, all around.
Yeah. It does, yeah.
Laura, which one do you need?
The one with the moon and the river.
Oh, okay. And then Karen.
Blood red is the only way to describe the moon, bleeding across clouds, winding river below, which cuts sharply through the snowfield. Red blood on black water, harsh contrast next to the white bordered by the ominous and impenetrable night black forest. Bigger than it first appears, only brought into perspective by the tiny figure of a man, we assume it's a man, standing in his own silence beside the river. Is he observing the spread of the blood in the sky reflected below, or watching to make sure the forest doesn't creep any closer? Or maybe he is the first scout sent into the open, and the forest is coming for all of us. The sky is the first to bleed.
Wow. He's been feeling like that.
Watching to make sure the forest doesn't creep any closer. Who's next? Karen. Okay.
This is that Lorette painting. It all drips, multicolored, drips away, bleeds off the canvas and into my soul. The crucifix, the X's and O's, and reassembles such that I feel my soul is nailed to a game of tic-tac-toe.
Excellent.
Not an easy one. Not an easy one. Pam had her.
I'm doing the man figure in the moonlight night. Solitude versus loneliness. They are not the same. Oh, is he filled with blazing light, sated with fallen snow, lost in wonder, or gripped by the futility of his smallness in a world that bears no impress of his being?
Yeah.
Abstract. Yeah. A Date with Destiny. Some days you never know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can hold it. That's okay.
I was wondering why my voice was so loud. Someday you never know. You plan and God laughs. Things pop up unexpectedly, throwing your whole day, your whole week, hell's bells, your entire life into utter chaos. And what is your recourse? You make the best of it as best you can. No use complaining. Put the pieces back together, girl, and move on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have, Neil has one. And then I'll wrap it up with some tips on where you can submit your
Stand up, Neil.
Downtown,
Stand up,
middle
Neil.
of winter in some typical town, right after Christmas. Will the Olympics take place this winter? I see 3 out of 5 rings on the left, a symbol of the Olympics. Whatever goes on there, best wishes to whoever participates.
Thank you. Those are all so great.
Robin, you had one more over here. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see that. Thank you. Oh, our new guy.
I don't know. I'll give it a shot. This is the coyotes and the jays and the fish.
Okay, yeah, let's see. There.
Okay. They all have a part in this. Can't read my writing. Dance of life. Lizard-like jays in tune. Fish keeps them afloat, but not in a boat. Coyotes 3 beg, please listen to me. You can see it is me that yaps the best. It is the howling good jam of critters.
Okay. Alrighty, thank you everybody. Thanks for really digging in and participating. I really, really appreciate that. All right, I'm going to give you a final slide of places you can submit your ekphrastic poetry. The most, I guess, obvious, famous, actually very easy and not expensive to submit to is the Ekphrastic Review, which is actually every 2 weeks they give you a new ekphrastic prompt. It's on their website. So you can just look and write to their prompt, and they have contests that that periodically as well. In fact, they have one I was going to show you that's actually closing May 1st. They have 2 anthologies that are coming up. If you want to write quickly, let's see. They have an anthology for flash fiction. An anthology call for horror flash fiction called Blood Dance. And it's due May 1st, so if you go to their website, you can find out information about that. But yeah, I'm holding the one about their anthology, but you can find out information at that first site there, the Ekphrastic Review Submit. And they have another one for poetry that's also due May 1st. I'm sorry I didn't get a slide for this, but this is called the Metaphor Tree. And so, yeah, I think you can submit, it's about symbols, motifs, sign, portents, and metaphors. Looking for poetry that explores the rich territory of symbolism through visual art, cultural, or historical significance, and a personal lens. So, yeah, so check those out. That's coming up really soon. Then there's the Mackinac, which is a sister publication to the Ekphrastic Review. Those are both out of Canada, but they have wonderful opportunities. And as I said, Lorette Luzajic, who runs them, has a lot of craft sessions online, mostly through WOW, Women on Writing. So you can take her classes, which is a great resource. The Light Ekphrastic accepts both art and poetry and very short fiction. So there's the website for that. Let me see if I can get that up a little bit. I don't know. Ekphrastic, I have not submitted to that, but actually it's the New York Metropolitan Museum's site for ekphrastic poetry. So that sounds really interesting. I haven't looked to see how they formulate their contests or their submission requirements, but that's where it is, www.metaphrastics.com/submit. And I think that's the last one, but I cannot actually see whether that goes any lower. I think that's it. Anyway, so lots to think about. If you're interested in getting a copy of the slides or a copy of the slides that you wrote to, and this one about submission information, let me know. If anybody's interested in getting the poems that I wrote to those slides that you guys wrote to, I'm happy to send you a copy. My email address is robinpoetry@gmail.com. So just let me know if you want any of that.
Robin, we can also include it when I send out the recording to everybody. So if you send those to me, I can
No,
include
I've got them. They're on my laptop.
Oh, okay. Never mind. We got them.
Great. I'm glad to hear this recording because some people have asked me about that. So wonderful. All right. Well, thank you all for coming and participating. And for Redwood Writers for having me today.
Robin, do you have any of your books here?
I do have. I have my my most current book. Somehow I haven't drowned, but I also have my book of ekphrastic poetry, The Clandestine Life of Paintings and Poems, but I only have 5 copies. My last 5 copies are here.
That means you got to rush up here at the break. Rush her table so she doesn't have to bring any books home.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Robin.